You are going.
Hello everyone. Welcome back to Currents of War, and may I just say, fuck March. March 2025, rotten hell. Burn in the fiery pits, you loaded pile of garbage. You wet trash on a hot summer's day. Fuck you, March 2025. Fuck you right in the ass. Anyways, we're back. It feels like it's been 7 years, but we're back in Currents of War. Last time, the gang tied up stuff in Nain Rouge. Probably some more things happened than that, but my brain is tired, and we've got shit to do today. So, we're moving on our way to the stronghold of Grumbouge, and there's just one thing in our way, and that is the Fields of Desolise. But before we get into all that, Arthur, I'd like to spend some time with you.
Oh boy, okay. Right out the gate.
Hey Arthur, don't worry. This is this is gonna be a nice, relaxing time. You're dying. You're lying on the battlefield right now. There is a spear that has been lodged deep in your guts, and you've been dying for quite some time actually. Getting wounded in the gut is one of the most painful ways to go, and also, in this case, not particularly swift. Death seems to be taking its sweet fucking time coming to you. And normally that'd be a godsend. It means that maybe someone could heal you. You could recover. But as you look around and see that you are surrounded by nothing but the dead and dying, the smell of gore and blood-choked soil and smoke filling your nostrils, you know that no help is going to get here. And the only benefit of Death's lackadaisical attitude towards your departure is that you get time to actually think and ruminate on your exit from this world. What would you say are your feelings at the moment?
Not fucking great right now. Because I'm imagining it's a spear wound in the gut. The guy who stabbed me and I killed simultaneously is dead on my legs. So it's not like I can just escape.
Oh no, he slumped off. You got him in the throat, so, his was quick.
Oh, fair enough. I'm imagining he's just perched up against a piece of rubble. I don't know if it was a building or a church or whatever you want to call it. Mm-hmm. And he's just kind of sitting there like, fucking hell. I'm a goddamned idiot.
Yeah. Your mind has lots to ruminate on, of course, and I don't want to necessarily railroad you into anything. But as one really has to do when staring death in the face, even while death is taking its sweet fucking time to get here, you do have to think about what is going to happen when you close your eyes and don't open them. You think about how you're a man of Angelsex, of mm-hmm. the south eastern kingdom of Bretance, and as such, your friends and neighbors have had equal influence of Mediterra and Germanor on their religious leanings. You know that the Mediterrans believe that when you die, you go to the underworld, and you're judged by a god called either Hades or Pluto. You're not sure which. You've heard both, and you're not sure which one's right. So Pluto Hades judges you, and depending on how you're judged, you go to like the fields of Elysia, where there are lavender bushes of grain, and you live in idyllic pastoral peace forever. Or, if you're good. And if you're horrible, you go to Tartarus and you suffer all sorts of diabolical punishments for your wicked ways. And if you're just kind of, there's like a third one that you forget the name of, for people who are just kind of, they just kind of go there and hang out, you suppose. And then in Germanor, they believe that if you die heroically on the battlefield, you'll be carried off by a beautiful, buxom woman called a Valkyrie to Valhalla, the great mead hall of the gods, where you spend all day fighting in battle to hone your warrior skills, and then all night feasting and drinking and partying with the Aesir, the warrior gods of Germanor. And if you're not dying valiantly in battle, then you fall to Niflheim, where the half-withered goddess Hela decides to either bury you deep in the roots of the Yggdrasil, where you can rest forever in peace, or let you sink below the roots into the place of gnawing and biting, where serpents tear at your skin and flesh forever and ever as torment for your wicked ways. So, ultimately, in the end, there's a paradise, there's a place of punishment, and there's a place where you just kind of get to hang out. But then, as a person who's not particularly religious, there's also the gnawing question of what if these are all just comforting lies we've told about the gods and the nature of the world? And what if what actually waits for you in death is nothing? If you will just cease to be. And you contemplate for a moment on which of these four options, paradise, a sort of afterlife, eternal torture, or just non-existence, which is your preference?
This is a very important question. Which one does my wife follow?
Hard to pin down. Your wife has always been a very mercurial and enigmatic figure. That's one of the things that drew you to her.
Admittedly, yes. I did promise
She
her my skull when I died, of course.
she like a lot of witches, she it's hard to pin it's really hard to pin down where exactly she comes from, because she seemed very worldly as well. She's talked about Germanorian and Mediterranean beliefs before, and about the pantheons in a way that was flippant enough to see and irreverent enough to seem like she's probably not a devoted follower, and yet also was deeply convinced of the paranormal and of spirits and life persisting in some way after death.
Okay.
So you wouldn't know. She didn't seem like she probably was a devout follower of any god, but she definitely was a very definitely is a very spiritual person.
So then Art, I would say in this situation, Art is 100% not concerned about where he's going, but he's more like, fuck, I'm gonna die. Oh, fuck, she's gonna summon me after I die. It's gonna be a fucking earful, and I won't have my skull.
You think
Gods, I
about
miss my
that,
wife.
and that's almost comforting. As much as you're not looking forward to the earful she'll give your spirit if she resurrects you or whatever, if that's within her power, which you don't think anything is outside of her power because she's your wife.
Yes.
But but as you think about that, you are struck with a more horrifying thing. What if she never finds you? You look around as best as you are able, given the state of you. You are far from the only corpse on this battlefield. In fact, it is clogged with the dead. It is grisly the amount of devastation and desolation your war has wrought upon this field. There's a possibility that no one will find your carcass until it has been stripped clean by buzzards, and a possibility that no one will be able to identify it and know where to send it home. Your wife didn't even know that you went off to this war. You left without telling her why.
Yep.
And this is what strikes you as you start to feel your senses fade, is the injustice of it all. The fact that worse than any of the outcomes is the fact that no matter where you go, whether there is a paradise or a torture or a meh or nothing, death means you are removed from the field of play, that you are not able to affect this world anymore, to do anything in this world anymore, to explain yourself in this world anymore, to right the wrongs that brought you here anymore. What is the most indignant feeling you have as you feel yourself starting to go?
as I start to fade into that wonderful inky blackness. That is a good question. You're throwing like hardball questions I've never thought about. So you have to give me a
Well,
second
hey,
here.
you don't get prep for this when you die.
No, you don't. I would assume there is the absolute anger born out of his chest. Because we haven't talked a whole lot about why Art went off to war.
Mm-hmm.
And then, like in my head, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, it was one of those somebody found out about Art's wife being a witch.
Yeah, that's what I remember us talking about in DMs. Is that they basically blackmailed you and press ganged you into service by saying they would go after your wife if you didn't.
Yeah, I got more or less press ganged, and I think the part that frustrates him the most is that he can't tell her that he's sorry that he had to do this, that he felt that this was necessary, that there should have been another way, that this was a waste of not only his life, but as he's looking over this body and these bodies and fields of dead, but this was a waste of all of their lives. That this entire concept was the dumbest fucking thing that any human could do with their lives. And not necessarily going and fighting for a good cause, not necessarily fighting this, but war in itself should have never been the answer to these problems.
Mm-hmm.
And if there was any way he could help make sure that this wouldn't happen to somebody else, he would.
Good. And as that thought rings in your heart, you see with the last bits of your blurring vision, two figures stride into your view. One of them is covered in black robes, and you can't see their face beneath the ominous large black hood of their cloak. While the other is, as best you can tell, a beautiful woman clad in white, gold, and silver, whose fine attire is a mix of princessish robes and leather armor. And they both watch you as vision fades from you, as your hearing dims and dulls and dissipates, and darkness overcomes you. My good friends, you come to the field of Desolise. The field of Desolise was once a part of Firmfield. It was once part of the vast farmland of Amorigal, but in the Third Goblin War, it was the site of so many awful, horrendous battles. Some between humans and goblins, or humans and boogeymen. Some between humans and humans. But so many vicious and utter vile battles that the land itself was soured. People often think of magic ambiently affecting, animal life, magical creatures and all that, wizards and shit. But it can affect land too. And the amount of carnage and cruelty and wanton loss of life that happened on this field has mutated the land as much as it would mutate any living creature. It has magically infected this land so that it is, to this day, decades after that war has passed, a desolate ruin. War scorched and torn. Here is one of the places where the Treadscar path goes through, but is by far the most nasty and gruesome part of the Treadscar path, the part that most lives up to that sort of violent name this great road has been given. And it is here that you find yourself. Let me get you some good music. Let me get in the right song here. Let me make sure. Yep, okay.
That's up here.
Reed would like to speak up.
Go ahead.
It is through these fields that I came through. Got lost. It's also a barren place.
It is indeed quite barren.
Might be a bit rude of me, but maybe that's for the best.
As you walk around, Arthur, you do feel a sort of deja vu. This doesn't look like it did when you fought here.
Nothing does after 50 years.
Nothing does after 50 years. Whoa, what the hell? Nothing does after 50 years. But you do get a vague sense, the way you would if you were stepping back into a town you knew 50 years ago, where occasionally like, wait, the geography feels right. I think that bakery was once like a diner or something. You know, they're just those weird moments of, huh.
You okay, bud?
Getting a sense of familiarity. Not a fan of that.
You been here?
Once, maybe.
Has Art revealed to us where he died?
I don't believe so.
We've talked about it before in game, but it was above character knowledge.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just if I remember my things correctly, and you'll have to forgive the old rotted brain a bit. Even this was one of the bloodiest sites of the last Goblin War.
Can't imagine.
So, TT,
Yeah.
you said this place was like magically tainted by the war and all the death. With
Yeah.
Duck being an entropist and, you know, cursed herself, does she get the vibe that this area is also cursed? Just from
Oh yeah.
everything that happened?
And also just as like a goblin, you would have an innate sense for when there's magical potency. And what you get here is sort of it's like the opposite of fairyland, or a place where fairyland intersects with the mortal world. This is not a place where magic is encouraging life to flourish. This is a place where magic is cementing an aura of death and decay. This is not a place where things can live easily. It is a place where things go to rot and die. It is cursed. It is cursed in a way that does feel similar to what's going on with you. Something happened here that horrified magic so much that it decided this place needs to be awful forever.
Yeah, she's got the heebie-jeebies.
Stay close. Stay safe. We're safer together in numbers.
As some would say, this is not a place of honor.
Yeah, you don't need to tell me twice.
Yeah, definitely getting blasted Heath vibes. Ooh, there's a pit.
Crater.
Craters.
As you travel through the desolation of the well-named Field of Desoles, you notice a distinct lack of animal noise. There are no birds in the trees. There are not even the croaks of scavenging crows. At most, you occasionally hear a wind rattling through the dead and dying, yet still standing trees everywhere. Occasionally, a pebble rolls down through one of the many craters gouged out by the constant fighting that this place encountered. And as you approach a ruined bridge, or perhaps the foundation of a building, you're not quite sure, you do see over here a very large, deep pit surrounded on all sides by skeletons of large and probably highly valuable magical creatures.
That ain't good.
I see.
Flavian, wait.
He's off for the bones.
There's
And do you guys think It'd be in bad taste to take a little sample.
You'll get cursed. Flavian,
Give a
wait.
little sample.
For what it's worth, Flavian, we should be careful. Even if these are here, that doesn't mean something ate them.
Yeah, just letting everybody know, this place is magically fucked. Like, this entire place is very cursed.
I don't like that. I don't like this.
As you find this pit of bones, you find it surrounded by several large arcane creature skeletons. There are two Rux skeletons here, Rux being large arcane eagles. There's one that you really hoped to be a dragon, Flavian. So do a double insight check for me. Unfortunately, as you analyze it, you realize this isn't actually a dragon. It's just a very large gliding serpent, possibly a Jaculus. Still valuable, but not as valuable as dragon bones of a creature of his size would be. But on the plus side, this skeleton right here, that is definitely a basilisk, and those bones can rake in fucking money.
And immediately slingshot near the pit.
Cool.
Go ahead. He'll attack you first.
What do you think?
Oh.
Worm.
As you go
You got
towards the
worm time.
skeletons, emerging out of the pit is this enormous red polychordate worm. Its eyes focus on you as it opens its mouth full of horrifying scissor-like jaws and attacks. Roll initiative, gang.
Son of a bitch.
So things can still live here. it
The way
looks like.
Grugan's like token is, it looks like he's writing it.
Not with rolls like that, I'm not.
What's the worm's initiative? Oof. Oh. Well, I guess the worm is turned. All right.
Oh, hold on.
Oh,
Beat at 13?
it did beat a 13.
Oh, dang.
Use high speed.
Ooh.
So I'm going to use the hinder action. So Flavian, panicked, tries to shoot at its at one of its pincers, hoping to inflict weak on it as the hinder
Okay.
action. So that is, so I'm just going to say, so that's Dex plus Dex. So since I'm using one of my weapons, I'll treat it as a Dex plus Dex. And I get a +3 for my thing. So that's going to be 11. Hooray! So it should be inflicted with weak now.
Is this against its defense?
No, the hinder action is just a straight D10 to pass.
Oh shit! Nice. Then yeah. All right. Very good move. Because it's you said it's hindering its might.
Yep.
Its might was 12, so that's a very good move on your part. Okay. So, the worm opens its scissor jaws and emits a foul, reeking vapor that swarms you all. And it's 9 plus 13. Does 24 hit everybody's defense?
Yes.
Physical.
Yeah.
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 Yep. Okay. Everyone who was hit by this has to roll 1d4, and I'll tell you which stat of yours gets lowered.
Oh, no.
I don't know why that rolled it twice.
Read
First roll.
your stat that was lowered. Is what the hell is wrong with me? Willpower.
Gotcha.
Flavian, your stat that was lowered is might, if possible.
Okay.
Arthur, your stat that was lowered is insight. Duck, you also lost might. Grugan, you also lost willpower. And Moncher, you also lost some might.
My might's already a D6, so it's not really that big of a difference.
Same.
Yep. Completely random for you.
So it's not the status effect; it just decreases the dice size.
This increases the dice size.
Okay.
At random. As you take in a good whiff of its deadly neurotoxin.
Ugh.
Is that a monster spell for Chimera's purposes?
It is.
Oh, so that's actually something I meant to bring up to you in between sessions. Duck shouldn't have been able to learn from Rawhead. She should have actually learned quite a few spells she has now because base chimeras can only learn spells from plants, beasts, and one other thing. Undead and constructs and stuff, I have to wait until my heroic skill.
I suppose.
Unless you want-
that way.
Unless you want to hand wave it.
Remember that like we use technically a different definition system for monster types in Midgeheimer Fabula Ultima. That's
True.
part of the pitch document. I'll leave that to your call. Whether you want to stick by that undead can't be done without a heroic skill.
No, because most of the spells she got from Barbara all seem to be dragon spells, and I can't learn those either until the heroic.
Let's not do that. I think that's bullshit.
Yeah, like
Otherwise,
it
how would you
specifically
ever be a
mentions-
blue mage?
Yeah.
So yeah, no, you're fine. Okay, that was the Conqueror Worm's turn. So,
So,
Oh, it's the Conqueror.
well, it's a Conqueror Worm. This is a Conqueror Skolex, specifically. Skolexes are mythological giant worm monster. I just made one that was really, really super big and based it off of the Conqueror Worm poem by Edgar Allan Poe because I fucking love that poem, as we all know.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
so
I've got it memorized.
I can do a quick
Mhm.
assessment real quick, and that just counts as being at the start of a conflict. It doesn't have to be on my turn, right?
Mhm.
Like Flavian's quick.
I believe so. I believe that's how it's flavored.
How many mind points
Oh,
do you
also-
want me to do on that, guys?
Also, Grugan, wasn't it a even attack roll against you?
It wasn't a
For counter?
melee attack.
Ah, right.
Otherwise, I would have. How many mind points do you want me to spend on that? I can spend up to 20.
How much do
You're
you
gonna
use
be
your mind points?
Yeah.
Not by much.
Yeah.
Not a lot.
I'd say 10.
Learning its affinities would be useful.
Yeah. And by using 10, you'd have like half left over, just in case.
No, I mean, I have more than 20 mind points. It's just I can spend up to 20 because I'm level 4 in this.
Ah, okay,
Right.
gotcha.
So I can spend 10 and get the 2 different damage types and see what the affinity is for them.
Sounds pretty good.
Okay. Any particular kind of anybody?
All my magic, most of my damaging magic is either dark or fire.
Okay. So I will go with dark and fire and see what their affinity is for it.
That's okay with everyone else?
I'm gonna have to
Yep.
disappoint you. It reacts entirely normally to dark and fire.
Okay.
Oh.
Well,
Neither vulnerable nor resistant.
at least we know it's not going to
Interesting.
resist you if you do it.
Yeah.
Want me to breach it so everyone can pour on the damage?
Go for
That'd
it.
be fun.
It'd be hilarious because I can do that too.
And I believe it's this button.
Damn. That hits.
Okay. So it will take the. I think it because of the breach thing. It's been a while. Yeah, when you hit an enemy with breach, deals damage equal to the high roll instead of dealing no damage.
All right.
So that would be 9.
Mhm.
And now it's going to take 6 more damage from every other attack it suffers.
Nice. All right.
Nice, yeah.
I love breach.
It didn't care for that, so that's not the best roll, buddy. Does 16 hit you, Sir Reed, defense-wise?
Yes, it matches.
Good. Okay. You take 24 poison damage and are poisoned. As
That's
it
the wonderful
spears you
thing.
with its vermin fangs.
Oh, good, because as made of mud, I'm immune to poison.
Oh, nice.
You little shit! You little fucker! You cheeky little bastard, you! Well, you still
Got
take
no
poison.
organs to poison.
You still take the. Are you immune to poison damage or just to the poison condition?
I'm immune to the status and to the damage type.
Fuck! Oh, it's pissed.
Would anyone mind if I go next?
Not at all.
Go ahead.
Ah, fantastic. So just double checking the.
You'll have to do a little better than that, foul worm!
I'm going to spend 20 mine points, and I am going to. Oh, I have to hit with a melee attack first. Hold on. Okay, so we're
The
gonna.
worm.
So I'm going to do something funky, and Art's going to bonk the worm.
My favorite game to play at the arcade.
Wrong roll. There we go.
That attack unfortunately does not hit.
Want to spend a fabula point?
I'm gonna spend. Well, I don't know what I would spend the fabula point on. I could re-roll the 6, I guess.
You got an 8 plus 2, so yeah, I'd re-roll that 6.
It
might
would
as
be a
well.
high damage.
Yeah, fuck it. I'll spend a fabula point, and then
Hell
re-roll
yeah.
the 6.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's
no.
even. I think that's more insulting than if you rolled a 1.
It is.
Yeah.
It isn't a little more insulting than I rolled a 1. All right, then
Well,
that's my turn.
Mark
Plus
that
side,
down on
you
the
did get its
fabula counter.
attention. Does 16 hit you, Art?
Yeah.
All right. You take
Wait, let me take a look.
25 poison damage and are poisoned unless you're immune to such things.
I am resistant to poison damage,
So you half that.
and then I am immune to the poison status effect.
Nice.
So
Just try to bite the 2 that don't have internal organs.
Oh, wait, your armor does?
oh, sorry, what was that?
Is
I
that
think
what
that's
your
what being
armor
a-
does?
I think that's what being a corpse does.
It's what being a corpse
Oh.
does. The revenant
that
side
makes
of things.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, the worm just tried to bite the 2 things in the party, the 2 party members that don't have internal organs.
It's looking
Um,
really frustrated by this as well.
How much damage was that again?
25, but you round down, so you would take 12.
I just want to make sure.
Did I try stealing something from this?
Do it.
Do it. Be funny.
Yeah.
When else are you gonna get a chance to steal from the Conqueror Worm?
14. I guess I should show what that ability is.
Goes against the magic defense. 14 is enough. All right. I was prepared for you this time. You get this: a Skolex Fang, a non-martial dagger that does poison damage.
Neat.
Excellent.
So I just ripped off one of its teeth.
The worm screeches and writhes, swinging its serpentine body around. Does 28 hit everyone's defense?
Flying.
No.
All right. Well, that's 20 physical damage to all foes as it just batters you with its body.
That
Would it
definitely.
hit me
question.
while flying?
If it's writhing, it can hit you. It's a big, long ass fucking worm.
Okay.
Did we heal last time?
Yeah.
That we played?
Yeah.
Okay, because I would almost knock me out because I was down to 33.
How much?
What is that damage?
We had an interlude after all the Nain Rouge stuff, if I remember right.
Okay.
Yeah.
What was that
20.
damage total?
20 beautiful physical damage.
And how much was the poison mist? Did that do damage?
It didn't do damage, just did ability drain at random.
Okay, cool.
Okay, so that
I
was
just want to make sure.
that was definitely a melee attack, and it was also even. So
Evens.
it's getting counterattacked.
I too can counterattack.
Oh, nice.
I'm using the beast axe.
That hits.
And both attacks will deal 6 more damage because of the breach.
Wait, I can counterattack too.
You fool! You triggered our trap card!
He did.
Yeah, doing a party-wide attack with multiple people having counters something.
Yeah, I'll.
This is like 2 party members away, or 3 party members away from just being an all-out attack moment in Persona.
So in total, I did 37 damage.
Jeez.
Fucking shit. And that's including the
Nice.
plus 6, right?
Yeah, that's including the +6.
My total would be 27.
I like how you both got an 18 too.
Oh, fucking worm.
Worm! And I did not hit, I imagine, so.
Yeah. Alright. The worm did not fucking like that at all.
Well,
Have
let's
any of you
start
not
with
gone yet?
Maybe?
Hello.
I think.
I
I'm not
haven't.
sure.
Yeah, I think there's quite a few of us that still haven't gone.
Okay,
Yeah,
just making sure.
so-
I'm keeping track of turn order right. Okay. That's it for the worm's attacks. This is not a full-on boss fight.
You want to go, Moncher? Then I'll go.
Okay, yeah. Wait, did you do an action this turn?
I did, but that was one of those things where you just do it at the beginning of an encounter.
Ooh,
So
cool.
I didn't take my turn.
Okay. Cool. Damn, I don't. This might lowering is hell on me.
Mm-hmm.
My damage, my accuracy, all gone.
Sometimes you get hit by the pinball, man. Sometimes you get hit by the pinball.
My big meaty slong.
My precious power ring! Gone forever!
Okay. And I will just hit it because it doesn't have any more turns. So, okay.
Whoa.
Jesus Christ.
Damn.
You want to choose an opportunity?
I do.
Gonna conquer. Rugen's gonna conquer this worm.
Where is
Yeah.
that list again?
Yeah, the cheat
So
sheets and
it's
the
somewhere in the
doc
cheat sheet.
section.
Docs.
Scroll up to the orange.
Critical success.
Here, I'll just post it in chat. Don't worry, I got it. I got it on hand. I got you.
Yeah. Advantage, affliction.
I'm looking through them. Just give me a second.
Alright. Any other player turns, or is it time for the worm to turn?
I think
Play
it's
games, I
still
believe.
me. And did you go, Monshare?
Yeah, I did. I whiffed it.
Oh, okay.
Opportunities, advantage. Let's see. It's already been gotten its might bumped down, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is it suffering from weak, or is that just somebody knocked its?
It would be suffering weak. The hinder action inflicts one of the status effects.
Okay. Let's see then.
One of the official ones, not one of the bullshit ones I made up.
The game encourages you to do that anyway.
I really love this game system because it feels really easy to make up bullshit in it and have it more or less work mechanically.
How about I look for a
Yeah.
vulnerability?
All right. You want to know one of its? So, I just tell you one of its vulnerabilities.
Yep.
It's vulnerable to ice, wind, and bolt.
Okay. Well, I'm going to use, because of all the different effects I have, I can spend 1 trade point to use my advanced alchemy set, which is 4 d20s. No, 3 d20s. Okay. So... You said it's weak to air?
Yeah.
Okay, so it takes 40 air damage at first, but then that would double to 80 air damage.
Jesus.
Damn.
God.
Flavian's alchemical concoction sets off.
You should fucking toss a thunderclap grenade or something.
I
The
have no idea.
worm gets hit with that, screeches, looks at you all, snorts derisively, and crawls back into its tunnel.
Quick, get the bones.
And
was that?
you manage to get a shitload of valuable bones. Note that they are 2 rock carcasses, 1 basilisk carcass, and 1 gliding serpent. Jaculus? Question mark?
Well,
That
Well, see,
Sareed was a corpse for him. They like battlefields and eat all the dead afterwards.
Makes sense.
See, we don't gotta worry about any curses taking all these bones, because that thing can eat from them, so it's totally fine. Totally fine. We're gonna make a killing.
Totally fine, he says.
he usually does.
Giant
Yeah.
worm that could eat a village.
I mean this quite plainly, Flavian. That worm cursed us, so it might just be. This whole place is fucking cursed.
I could have spoken to it. I just realized. Did I hear it saying anything when we were fighting?
No.
I don't imagine it would
It's
have
the kind of
anything-
creature, intelligence-wise, where you would have to initiate conversation for it to form words. There are some creatures where they speak when spoken to with magic, but they don't think in words and sentences on their own.
I
Okay.
don't think you would get much conversation out of that one.
I think that was
Yeah.
pretty productive, everybody.
Oh,
I'm gonna pop a potion.
You okay, Arthur?
It's fine. It
As
took a
you-
little bit of a beating.
As you all return to the Treadscar path away from the worm's nest, you do notice in the opposite direction there is another deep pit. This one doesn't look like it was dug out. Like the wormhole very much did look like a burrow upon reflection. This just looks like a chasm in the earth.
Oh,
I suppose we're gonna go poking around in that hole too.
Is that wise?
No, but I suppose we're gonna be doing it anyway.
Yeah.
Where is the second chasm? I am looking on the map. I am not seeing.
10,000
Oh, the crevasse.
The one to the very far left.
The one where I'm like, oh, that popped the map out way too fucking far. Okay. Yep. So the one on the left?
Yeah.
Yep.
You want to investigate another deep and mysterious hole in a cursed land?
Not really.
Yeah, the first one was pretty lucrative, and besides, you know, if it's just another giant worm, I'll just give it another one of my little special concoctions and see how it feels with that.
You are very bold for a merchant.
That's why we keep them.
Seen enough. I've seen enough. I'm getting used to it, you know?
Um,
Nothing
I'm
ventured,
just-
nothing gained.
as you approach this very large chasm, Flavian, your sharp eyes pick out immediately the glint of a gold nugget.
Hey, Monsieur, since you got the wings and all, why don't you take a gander at that little golden glint over there?
If I die, I'm going to curse you.
I will also say that if you would like to crawl into the chasm without wings, you just need to make a double might or double dex check of 12.
I think I'll fly in, do we still have the status?
Yeah.
Yeah, my might is at 8 right now. I don't trust shit.
Might want to take a remedy for that.
2, 3. You know what? I'm in the same boat. Let me take a remedy for that. But
Yeah.
oh, that not a remedy, a tonic. That's the wrong one. Whoopsies. So that leaves me with 1 inventory point.
You guys are gonna need to find an inn.
Oh, that's fine.
Does the magic tent recover? Oh, it wouldn't recover IP. Never mind.
Yeah, you gotta go to an inn to recover IP. Duck and Sir Reed, you managed to climb in alongside Muncher, who's just flying down pretty easily. It's a little steep, but actually, as you go down, you realize it does sort of slope a bit. So climbing out shouldn't be too hard either. As you come in, you do occasionally pass by little tiny gold nuggets, or nuggets of silver, and even a few gems, sort of buried in the recesses. And you also find something interesting. There are a few iridescent purple-black. At first, you think they're gems because they're kind of sparkly, depending on the angle that you look at them. But when you pick them up, they're very thin. Extremely hard, though. Extremely tough when you feel them. But they look, they're sort of like a semicircle shape. Thin, but incredibly tough. Like, you could probably make a really good arrowhead out of these if you had the ability to whittle it down. It's of a very odd material, though. You're not sure you can place it.
Hey, what was that last bit?
It's of a very odd material. You're not sure if you can place what it is. It's not metal.
Okay.
It feels more organic.
Our duck's spider senses tingling, for lack of a better word, this is giving me bad vibes. Just all this wealth down here.
As you look around, you notice that while a great deal of this chasm is natural, the deeper you're in it, the more you see things that look very distinctly like claw marks, just a lot bigger than any claw marks you've seen.
Bigger than the bear?
Bigger than the bear.
Oh.
That ain't good.
Yep. Duck will point those out to Monsieur and Reed. It's like, we should not be down here long.
We should
Monsieur,
be down here at all.
Monsieur, your training comes back to you, and you realize what you're in.
Oh,
This is a dragon burrow.
Yeah, do I?
This is
am I-
a very large dragon's burrow and a secondary entrance to its den.
Yeah, we should get out of here.
I'm gonna pick up We gotta pick up Duck. Let us go.
No, Duck is already scurrying up once hearing that. Do you remember the last time we walked into a dragon's den unannounced?
And that dragon was way smaller than whatever did this.
Yeah.
Oh,
Flavian, Dragon's Lair. Bad idea. Already claimed.
No, no, no.
On the plus
It
side,
echoes.
you recovered 150 Zenit worth of gold nuggets
Yay!
and
Oh.
about 10 iridescent dragon scales.
Oh.
Yeah, well, maybe we'll be able to do something with the scales later. I don't know. We'll see what happens.
Maybe Pierre can make something.
As Art looks at the dragon scales, I think he has a flash moment. It's like, you don't think that's tied to that one dragon and the giant thing of thorns, right? Because that one was black too, right?
As you look next to this chasm, you realize that the foliage here is different than the other trees. While the other trees you see are just dead trees, the ones here look more like massively overgrown bramble vines.
oh.
These are bushes and bushes of briars that have grown and swollen to the size of trees.
It's just booking it.
You are on the outskirts of the briar woods.
Lads, I think we might. Yep, there goes. There they go. Let's head out of here. I'll cover
along,
the.
Medium.
I'll
Right.
cover the back. I've got the best excuse for wandering around.
Excellent.
Just at a glance, do these brambles seem like the same we saw grasping the castle?
Yeah, just bigger and more healthy in many ways.
How
Ah.
much money was that? Those golden nuggets worth?
I think I said 150.
Yeah.
150 Zenit worth. Not the biggest windfall in the world, but I mean, you could always go deeper if you wanted more.
If we took more, that'd be just asking for a Smoggen Cup situation.
I'm not going down there and pissing off whatever left those scales and dug that hole. Absolutely.
Art's gonna hang a little bit back, and as everyone starts running, he reaches into his pocket, taking out a small sack of 150s in it, and chucks it down in the pit and catches up.
You.
Yeah, all right. So there's a dragon probably around this place.
Is it
I mean,
Dragon
yeah.
around this place, isn't there?
I think we found the back door of whatever one's living in the Bramblewood, whatever it's called.
Is it the habit of this company to go poking around every ominous hole in the ground?
Yeah.
Well-
In unison, yes.
Crooked
Yeah, pretty
gestures
much.
at the rest of them. Unfortunately.
It's important in your travels, especially when you're in it to make money, that you're thorough.
Oh look, Monsieur found a new one.
Oh my god.
Oh.
Monsieur
Look,
Flying
I'm-
Love could probably find them pretty easily.
Mm-hmm.
I think Art would like put a hand on the shoulder of Groot and be like, at least somebody's having a good time here.
Watch out
Look
for
at
the
this
spikes.
chasm and find to your delight that it's just a chasm. Just a big gouged out hole in the ground. You look down in there and you see some skeletons of people who fell in and didn't climb out. Oh, thank God.
Hey, any of you talk down there?
I can speak to the dead. Hold on. Hey, are you dead?
The corpses do not
Okay.
reply.
Oh, perfect. They're the
Well-
good kind of dead corpses.
Monchair is going to fly down there and grab the skeletons for his jar.
Nice.
That's fucked up.
Hey, it's free food.
There's a good number of them to put in there, and you know, some of them are really small, which makes them pretty easy to compact in there.
Oh, those are goblin skeletons.
Or
Big as
children.
that jar of yours.
Or children.
Yeah, I was thinking children.
I know, me too, but I said goblin, hopefully.
So you
He
eat
said
you
hopefully.
eat bones?
Yep.
Uh,
It's,
Moncher, I'm not sure like this would be the best place to get bones for a soup.
Where's
Not
it
the
bread?
worst place.
Reed will look over yonder.
Where's the bread?
There appears to be the ruins of a town over there.
That indeed there are.
Well, let's take a look.
Oh, and the music cut out just as you discovered that. That's beautiful.
It's not ominous at all. Oh
You
boy.
know.
Oh, it's another ghost town.
Yay, another
It's
ghost
only-
town. That's what I want as Grugan.
Start right up here, friend.
As we're walking towards the town, it's like, walking through this place just kind of really hammers home how awful the last war was.
It does indeed, as you pass by what was once a thriving town, probably like the big market of Firmfield, for them to sell their wares to travelers and to the neighboring cities. Now it is a desolate ruin. The broken, battered homes and buildings, barely recognizable. The streets, not overtaken with green, as one would hope, but weathered away by erosion. Everything's still charred from being burnt, and covered in dust. No carcasses, thankfully. The one can say about the Field of Desolés is that in the past several decades, most of the corpses have been removed. But it is still just a monument to the people who once lived here and now no longer can.
Is any of this familiar?
Painfully so. As you wander through these streets, you realize this is where you died. Maybe you can't figure out the exact spot, but this was where the last battle of your time in the war took place.
You okay?
Well, no. To be honest. But I mean, with how much of wackadoodle stuff we've been doing and circular history coming back to repeat itself, makes sense we're here.
Your attention is drawn to an old withered tree. And it takes you a moment to figure out why, Arthur, but you realize this is where you were slumped against when you died.
Old thing still standing. Guess that makes two of us. And he'll turn and point and be like, "See that tree over there, guys? Middle of town?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I died there."
Oh.
Hmm.
And he just marches down like it's...
I am sorry, Arthur.
Oh, that's fine.
Well, you kind of got better.
Good lightly jab Flavian.
I felt bad for snorting at that.
It's the... Oh, what the hell? Hold on a second, let me refresh my page.
The screen went white for you too.
Yeah.
Scroll up or down. It keeps happening to me. The screen keeps flickering white. For
Yeah, it
me
happened
for
to me
some reason.
too.
Okay.
Well, if it's any consolation, you kind of seem to be in better shape than this whole town.
GT, I think this map is actually haunted.
Good.
Cursed man.
Well,
First
It's
map,
that- but it's also one of the things that I've been quietly dealing with myself is the fact that I invaded this place. I helped set half of these buildings here, gesturing to the various ruins, on fire. I ruined homes, and I don't know how I feel about that now that I know the people. But
Yeah. I mean, we were just doing orders. Sometimes we can't choose what we do when we're in a situation like that.
I mean, it's true.
I'm sure
And
that's no comfort to the people who lived here, though.
But it is what it is.
Yeah. All you
Um,
can do is make sure
yeah.
it doesn't happen to anyone
Guys,
Oh,
duck points.
Yeah, I see him down there.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
Duck
Art-
sees and points out a woman upon a magnificent white steed. The steed, the horse is dressed in barding, of white, silver, and gold. Its long, luxurious tail of straw yellow hair is braided to some degree, and the woman herself wears leather armor of a very old style, with fur for pauldrons and a winged helmet in a Germanorian make, with the old school Germanorian sort of crossbar face guard.
mm. Who could that be?
Hmm?
Perhaps
She doesn't
they are
seem
lost
to have
as
noticed
well?
you yet. As she stands by this tree looking towards its roots.
Hmm.
Hey, is that your wife?
I think that's gonna that breaks the like tenseness he's been holding in this whole time. It's like, no, my wife hated white so much, despite the color.
She was goth as hell, and is still.
But no, my wife didn't know I was here. Oh, and there go. Oh, you vanished for a second on my screen, and as you were like on the well, so it was like, oh, and there he goes.
Down the
Duck
well.
Down the
Duck.
well.
Down to
Sploosh.
Goblin Town for Duck, I suppose.
The Uck belongs to the well now. New
Well,
character
last time
zero.
last time there was someone down the well, so Duck was like looking down it.
Nope, nothing but still waters down there. Still probably diseased waters.
Yep.
Yeah.
Gross.
Well, if I had to take a guess, and I don't like guessing, I died right about there-ish.
Right where
And
she's
the-
looking, really.
Right where she's looking, really.
That's,
Yeah.
Wanna go say
does
hi?
not bode well.
Well, you'll have to apologize. I'm not the most religious man on the face of the planet, but I'm almost 100% sure that's a Valkyrie. And we're in the middle of something.
Oh,
Oh yeah.
do we know about Valkyries?
Um,
Duck knows about Hela.
you know about Hela. You guys, yeah, you would know at the very least the rough superstitions of the Germanorian people and the followers of the Aesir, that Valkyries are divine warrior women who go onto the battlefield to find those who died nobly in battle, to whisk their spirits off to Valhalla, where they and the other righteous dead can hone their warrior skills for the final battle of Ragnarok that is to take place at the end of the world. Those that are carried off by the Valkyries are meant to fight to ensure that while this world ends, a new world can blossom in its ashes.
Intense.
Would a
Just kind
Valkyrie
of have that ethereal beauty to her.
would a Valkyrie take you when you're already on a mission, or would she let you finish?
Your guess is as good as mine.
You did say, well, you were an Engel 6 soldier who got scooped up with the other Frank Kane, buried in a Frank Kane tomb. She's looking at where you died, right?
Roughly, yeah.
Oh, you think she missed you?
like a long time to just
I-
stand around.
I honestly don't know.
Tip, 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 tip.
Duck, no, Duck.
Oh dear.
Okay, Duck. I don't know what. They didn't give me a manual. I closed my eyes as two people showed up. Then I woke up in a hallowed tomb. I don't know what's going on.
Duck, as you sneak towards her, would you like to make a double insight check, difficulty 14?
Oh boy. Double insight, you said?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's one of my good ones, I think. Oh. I'm going to use a fabula point to reroll those.
Okay.
Yeah, I better reroll the 5 because even if I'd have to
You
roll a 9 or a
You
10.
can just re-roll the whole thing.
Yeah, no, that's what I mean. I was just like, should I just roll the 1 dice? But then I was like, even with the 5, that would be
You'd be
So
betting
you-
on a 9 or a 10.
no. It's worse.
Okay, as you get
Oh,
closer,
wait.
that's just a fucking woman on a horse. As you get closer, that's just a lady on a fucking horse. Why are you all acting scared? She doesn't even have a weapon.
TT,
Yeah.
you want?
All
Haven't had this kick in a while.
right. You automatically fumble. That is absolutely just a lady on a horse. And perhaps out of annoyance at having spent so much time dithering about this fucking normal chick on a horse, you shout,
Yeah.
"Hey, lady!"
Hey, lady.
Yeah, Duck's gonna step up closer. It's like, hey, lady, look, it's just a regular lady. What is she doing out here?
She turns her head. Oh. Hello. And she and her incredibly
Oh,
beautiful
great.
horse turn to you. What are you doing in this place of desolation?
Smog.
Why, literally just passing through.
For the best. Not much can grow here anymore.
Yeah, I was gonna actually ask you the same thing. What are you doing here? This is not some place I'd see someone riding a fancy horse like that.
She smiles warmly. I'm waiting for an Einherjar.
Boys.
An old friend.
I feel bad for accidentally flipping forward. This is Grace thing.
Oh, don't worry, it'll be Grace Fang soon enough.
No, Art is like looking like, oh fuck, she's here for me, lads.
Back into this building. Come on, come on.
And chucked into the building.
He just picks. I just imagine you picked him up and threw him in there.
She looks
Yeah.
at you and says, "Are you of the Grumboog?"
At one point, I worked with them. Not anymore.
Oh.
That's where
I
we're
see.
actually heading to.
You are on the right track then. Follow the Treadscar path and you will not stray too far from his lair.
Excellent. Looks through the group, sees people are missing. Well, we're on the right path. Huh.
Reed will look to Arthur. It's like, do not worry, my friend. If she tries to claim your immortal soul, she will not have it.
I appreciate that.
You have a righteous mission to complete first.
I appreciate
have
that.
no fear of her, of course, because I have no soul.
You do, but we're not going to worry about that. I appreciate that. We were panicking for different things. In the case, I am immediately stolen against Ramel, and you can't save me. Art reaches into his coat pocket, pulls out the ratty, like a very clearly 50 to 60-year-old journal who's been carrying around with him. I give this to my wife. She's in Summerlee. Just ask for the witch. They'll find you. She'll treat you well.
Well, where are you going?
Well, I can run away from my destiny, or I can go find out why this lady's waiting here. If it's for me, I can tell her, I'm a little busy right now. Can you come later?
Okay. But if there is to be a fight, I will stand by your side.
Reed, from the bottom of my undead soul, I am so happy we're friends. Yeah. Sorry. Art will come out of the building brushing off. Sorry, last minute things.
She turns her head, looks at you, and while you can't see her eyes beneath that Germanorian style helmet, the crossbar casts a very nice shade over them. You can see her shock and elation on her face when she sees you. Arthur Baker.
Present?
It has been a while. I don't know if you remember.
Somewhat.
So
I was
you
kind
are
of
the
fading out by
first-
that point.
You are the first Einherjar to awaken. How fortuitous.
What?
Sorry, the honored dead.
Oh, yeah, that makes more sense. Yes, that's what I've been doing. Letting the folks know. Because they're doing another one of these, he says, gesturing to the very clearly signs of battle. And, I don't know how much you were present for, because I was fading out. But I kind of swore upon my death if one of these things happened again, I was going to do whatever I could to stop it. So I've been doing that.
As you talk, you just feel the warmth and admiration radiating from her as she smiles back at you. I knew I saw the virtue in you. And to think of the poetry of the divine that you would be the messenger that is sent to test their mettle.
Well, thank you.
She reaches into her robes and produces a horn that looks to be made from some sort of a massive tusk.
Oh, that's impressive.
This is a blessed Oliphant. It can be used once washed with the amber mead of Niflheim to raise the honored dead once in defense of a nation. And I have been tasked with testing the heroes of this conflict to prove their mettle so that they are worthy of this blessing.
Ah! That makes sense. Art turns around. We have to do a test to get an item that could help tide the entire conflict over to the side of us. Do you want to do it? Have to, but...
If it would help us, then I will take a test, yes.
Yeah.
I want this thing to
Excellent.
end just as much as you do.
And as you all consent to take the test of the Valkyrie, her body and the body of her horse begins to glow with a radiant divine light. And there is a flash that you have trouble looking at. And when the flash is gone, what stands before you is now clearly not... Oops, wrong layer. A human on a horse.
Oh,
That
I
kicks
get
ass.
strong.
Roll initiative as you face a Valkyrie.
I like that you gave the horse the Pegasus Mon fucking mask on it.
Fucking Unimon. I've been in a very Digimon mood the last few months.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Just you cheeky fuck.
Could
I don't know if
be
you can
any
tell, but
reason.
those are eyes on her pauldrons.
Mhm.
I can tell. They're looking right at me. They look as
All right, let's look at your initiatives.
Ah, fantastic.
Not fantastic. I don't think you won the initiative off this time.
I was looking at the
Nope.
eyes.
The Valkyrie did.
Well, Scotland and I can still take our stuff.
Yeah. If you want to do high speed, and then I'll do
Yeah.
insight quick assessment.
I think I'm gonna try to aim to use the hinder to inflict shaken, but I'm trying to justify like how is Flavian trying to inflict that?
Flashbang.
Sure, let's try it. Treat that as a Dex plus insight. Dex to do it quick, and then insight,
Mm-hmm.
as in the insight to make the flashbang. It's not what I expected at all. Boom! There we go. So she has been inflicted with shaken,
All right.
unless she's immune.
Let's see. Nope, she can be shaken.
Okay, then I'll use another 10. And what damage types do you want me to ask about?
Definitely feel like dark would be a good idea for this one.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so there's one. How about another one? Do you want me to do fire again to see how she does?
Poison, maybe?
Okay, so dark and poison.
All right. You want to know about her relationship with dark and poison?
Yes.
She is immune to dark entirely,
Oh,
but she is vulnerable to poison.
Okay.
okay.
Which Flavian can inflict.
Yeah, I was actually wrong. I only have one flame spell, that's the Dragon's Breath, but I have several different poisons.
Okay. I will relay that information to you. And now it's time to get our ass kicked by Valkyrie.
Let's go!
Yeah, she decides to open strong too. Well, maybe she did get shaken, so we'll see how this roll ends up. So 7 plus 15 is 22, if I'm correct math wise. Does that hit anybody's magic defense?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Your insight
My
and wisdom
magic
die
defense is her bonus.
What?
My magic defense is her bonus to hit.
Yeah. Your insight and wisdom have been reduced by 1 dice size until the end of combat.
No. No.
Oof, that hurts.
That's the one I'm. Those are the ones I own. No.
Insight and willpower?
Insight and willpower.
Okay.
I'm in trouble.
My willpower can't go any farther down, but my insight went down to an 8, so...
Yeah, that hurts.
My insight and willpower were already at 6, so I'm good.
My only two D10 skills are now a D8.
Ugh. She like unveil her full power on us or something?
Yeah, she unveils her full power and does the battle cry of the Valkyries, and you are just immediately cowed as you realize you're not fighting a mortal creature, you are fighting something of the divine. Not a goddess, but something in the same ballpark as a god.
Duck feels a little silly just going up and chatting with her.
It's fine. I'm pretty sure.
It's fine. Can I go first?
Go.
Mhm.
It's your test.
Excellent. This is my test. So I'm going to immediately spend 10 MP and cast Charging Cavalry. Hey, Sir Reed, I need you to perform a free attack. You get a +4 bonus to the accuracy check, because that's the level of my skill, but your high roll is a 0 when calculating damage.
Alrighty then. So that'd be a +4 to hit.
Oh, I did it out of order. Son of a bitch. That's fine. I'll do it next round.
So I think a 19. Yeah, I think that's 19.
19 will hit.
Okay, and I think one of my abilities would help.
Want to just join and leave real quick?
Wait, where'd it go? Bone Crusher. So instead of dealing the 10 physical damage, I'm going to inflict weak.
Okay. Good choice.
Okay.
We're all debuffing each other.
And because I've done that, with that turn, Crushing Chariot pops off. So, hey, Sir Reed, why don't you take your turn?
Oh no. I could attempt to breach.
That would be helpful.
Do it!
She would
Yeah, it would.
actually have armor, so
Yeah, no, that's the thing, ain't it? Only an 11.
Does not hit.
I'll spend a Fabula point to re-roll.
Honestly, both of them.
Yeah. Let's see first what that first roll is like. Damn. That's about be a 3. Wait. That'd be calculating 3 plus. My brain hurts. I'm just gonna spend another family
Yes.
point.
It'd be 8 plus 6 at that point.
I hate to be a stickler, but if you already spent the Fabula point, then that's done for the reroll.
Okay, yeah.
So 5 plus 3 plus 6 is
14.
14. Still not enough, unfortunately.
Dang.
Yep.
Next time. Next.
But she admires your courage, which is why she's gonna hit you with a big lance made of holy fucking light. Does 20 hit you, Sir Reed?
That it does.
All right, you take 16 light damage
Okay, 16.
as
and
you
I-
are bathed with the holy scorching heat of divine judgment.
And I think that's a even number, so I could get a counterattack off.
We good?
do it.
Yeah.
Damn it.
Damn.
You're down.
End of
That's
Yeah.
not hit yet. Yeah, no,
yeah,
I'm
no.
sorry.
Someone else's
I'm so sorry.
thing.
So sorry. So that was her attack.
Mhm.
All right. I can go.
I could try to breach too.
Yeah, go ahead.
Let's try and break that armor.
Because I was gonna also try and breach.
Because she
Everyone's
clearly has
trying
a
to strip this
good
Valkyrie,
armor.
you horny bastards.
Fuck off.
I know what I'm about.
Would she count as nobility for the purposes of the Black Knight's Warhammer? By the way.
No.
No. Okay.
Valkyrie serves of higher power than a king.
I'll still use it because it does have multi too. Just if I ever want to hit her. More than
Good
one.
fucking attack.
It is. I am breaching, so that's not damage. It's just taking. It's doing what breach do.
But the 19 is enough to actually breach her, so you're taking off her armor.
Yep.
All right, her armor is destroyed and no longer lootable.
Sorry.
Unfortunate.
Wait,
But her-
Lootable or lootable?
Lootable. You can loot her all you want, you sick pervos. Sure, her defense is now down.
Excellent.
I think we'd rather
That's good.
battle her, without being wiped the hell out. I could also just see if if she has a shield. I could destroy that instead of just the armor.
Nope, she doesn't have a shield.
Okay, so armor.
All right, you do significant damage to her armor. She nods at the pragmatism of this choice. And then... Man, you guys debuffed her quite a bit. Okay. Does 24 hit everyone? Magic defense. Ooh, that just
Yes.
Yeah.
pretty chunk though. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. You all take 18 bolt damage.
Ouch. Ooh, dropping into crisis. Ooh, I think that actually be helpful.
18 bolt. That puts me
Hey.
at
I'm close to crisis.
I think
61.
do. How's everybody doing HP wise?
I'm at 56. I'm not in crisis yet, though, so.
I'm
Okay.
fine.
I'm like 9 points away from crisis.
I'm
I am.
61.
And
I have a
am
fun
4
ability that. Don't worry about healing me too much. Reed's tough.
Okay.
They can take a few more of those. I don't know about
Okay.
everybody else, though.
Still got turns left. I do, but I don't know who
So
else.
do I.
Okay.
And Monsieur, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And with the armor broken, it'll be easier time hitting her.
Who wants to go next?
I volunteer Flavian.
All right. So because I went into crisis, I get to use emergency item, which means I get to use I get to take 2 actions my turn as long as one of them's the inventory action.
Dang.
Oh, I'm going to do that first, and again using a trade point instead of any inventory points. To do my advanced alchemy. There's 3 d20s. All right. Hit her. Or 1 ally. Nah. All right, so he concocts volatile chemical Molotov cocktail, whatever, to inflict. That would go to 30. So because she's vulnerable, 60 poison damage was she inflicted with breach too?
We did not apply the breach that adds more damage. Just
Okay,
makes
it
it
is
easier to
broken,
hit.
so-
Yeah.
Yeah, she takes 60 poison damage.
Is that
Dang.
doubled or is that just raw?
That is the doubled damage.
Okay, just making sure.
Yeah.
Hoochie mama, you put her in fucking crisis.
Okay. And now Flavian can go again because of the emergency item.
Mhm.
I'm just trying to think. For spellcast. So, what do you guys think? Should I use another alchemy thing, or should I use my awaken spell to boost one of Duck's magical rolls?
I suppose you could help out Duck.
Oh yeah,
Because
what do you
all
roll
my
again?
My
If you're gonna try
well, my two
Soul
spell
Steal-
casting stats were the ones that got nerfed. So insight and willpower.
Yeah. Okay, I'll use my second roll. I'll use Awaken. So I'll use Awaken to boost your willpower on Duck. So it regrows
so
one
it's back to
size.
normal.
Yep.
Okay.
I
Willpower.
don't know
Back to
how
D10.
Flaming's magic looks. I don't know. Maybe comes across like it's an item, but it's actually magic. I don't know. I guess
Maybe
it's a
you give her
conjurer.
like the alchemy equivalent of a 5-hour energy shot.
Yeah, basically. You're up, Duck.
Ah! Should I damaging or
Does the Valkyrie
Say
still have a
Soul
turn
Thief.
between us?
The
Oh, yeah, that's
Valkyrie
right.
does still have a turn. Flavian,
What's-
you did a lot of great damage, just so
Uh-oh.
you're aware. You did some very
Uh-oh.
good damage right there. I just gotta say, hats off to you. Does 22 hit you?
Oh yeah.
Okay,
I would like to
good.
protect. Get down, Mr. President.
Does 22 hit you?
Bodyguard.
Yes, it does. Absolutely.
All right, you take 15 light damage.
Yay.
Okay. I could have let survive. I was a little scared that would have knocked me to 0, but I guess I could have taken that. Still, thanks.
She does. She's beefy and she has a lot of like debuff. She has debuffs and a lot of group attacks, but she's not trying to kill you.
Yeah.
You get the sense she is holding back. This is a test, not a slaughter.
Sir Reed.
Your tiny, squishy merchant body couldn't take it.
Yes, you're very right.
It's a knight's duty to defend the weak.
I guess Duck or
Sure, I'll
Monshare.
shit.
Well spoken, Sir Bertolac.
Huh?
Does Bonshare want to go?
We're not there yet, are we?
Yeah, it's either Monte or Duck now.
I'll go.
Unfortunately, it does not hit.
Okay.
And she goes after Arthur because this is, after all, a test of him specifically. Arthur, does 20 hit you?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure 20 hits me.
All right, you take 16 light damage.
Oh no, Arthur!
Mm.
Yeah,
I'm-
or as
I'm
a
checking
revenant, aren't you
something real
vulnerable
quick.
to it?
I am vulnerable to light damage, yes.
Need to get you some armor, some
Oh, I
sunglasses.
have armor.
He needs sunblock. That's what he needs.
I need some milk. I'm in crisis.
Oh no! In his eagerness to defend the plump merchant, he forgot to defend the bony boy.
Oh, it's fine.
Yeah, should Duck try to attack or keep with her compulsion of stealing? Because I don't know if this is going to last another full round.
Depends on how deep your pockets are.
Do you want in character advice or do you want out of character advice, I suppose?
I will always advocate for the steal.
Out of character, yeah, there's no mechanical reason you shouldn't.
Yeah, it's fine.
Jack her shit.
If you want to stab her, stab her.
Kleptomania.
It might be something useful for Art. So.
I mean, when's the
Oh,
next
thank
time
you
you
for
get an
restoring
opportunity?
willpower because Soul Thurvery is Dex and willpower.
Yep, that's what I looked at.
Does that go against her magic defense?
Against magic defense of a creature you can see.
You are so lucky they breached her armor.
Is that her AC now or her magic defense?
That's her magic defense now.
Whew.
Exactly. And so you get a Valkyrie lance. Not the one she's
Oh.
holding.
Damn.
Oh,
That's gonna be
someone's
interesting.
going to enjoy this.
And I believe we're at the top of the round. Duck, that was a really good move you did just now. I just want to say. Does 18 hit your defense?
That might be my defense. Hold on. Nope, it's one over my defense. Darn it.
All right, cool. You take 15 damage, light damage.
Yeah, now I'm in crisis. 15, you said?
15.
Do we want Flavian to go next to try to heal people?
No, poison nuke her again.
Blow her up.
The
Just
best
want
sort
me
of
to do that
healing is
again?
preventing it in the first place.
Alright, I can do that again, I guess, if people want.
Explode the Valkyrie.
Alright.
Eh.
Many men would kill for such a chance.
Advanced. Again. Okay. Yep, I can inflict 60 damage again, doing the double poison damage.
Ow.
Flavian.
Ah,
Bob's another cocktail of poisonous potion at her.
as
Shall
she
we
takes
get-
the blow, she tries to shield herself with her wings, but it fails to do much of anything. And she scowls and says, "Thou fights like Loki."
And you are green with yellow,
I
with
know,
gold
right?
and yellow.
That was a really
My
good
God.
hit, Flavian. That was a really good hit. Does 25 hit you?
Oh yeah.
Okay, take 19 light damage.
Flavian, I think, has 5 HP left.
Oh, goodness.
Oh goodness. No, it's a good thing you protected him. He's soft and squishy.
Yeah.
Yeah, Art's crunchy.
Could I-
guys, finish her off, please.
I want to try doing the dumb thing again. Should I do the
Here's
dumb
your
thing?
test.
It
Your
is
test,
my
do it.
it is my test, and her armor is broken.
Wit.
Damn.
Fabulous points.
I'm assuming a 9 does not hit.
No. No.
Yeah, we're gonna re-roll that whole thing because why not?
Okay, yeah.
Is she in
Smart.
crisis?
She is.
Okay.
You knocked her into crisis with the first poison hit.
Okay.
Oh, wrong button. Does a 12 hit?
It just barely manages to hit without her armor.
Fantastic. As I go to do that, I drop 20 mind points. And I activate a really cool ability I got when I mastered Commander. Iron Forest. Congratulations. Attacks are going to cost 10 MP now.
Mm.
And if she can't spend it, she can't do it.
Mm.
Quite good. Very
Oh,
intelligent
dang.
hit. So she's going to have to lose 10 MP. And Art does 25 hit you.
Yeah.
I'll protect that one.
You take 18 light damage, or Sareed takes 18 light damage.
I promised I would protect you, Arthur.
It's very much appreciative, Sir Reed.
Did Deck try attacking?
Yeah.
First time I've ever used this, but because it has poison damage, let's try it. Damn it, wrong one.
Damn.
Fuck.
That's a good hit.
That hits.
Yeah,
There
it's
was a chain
max.
All right. Well,
So that's 40 damage being doubled.
Woo.
you defeat the Valkyrie.
I didn't
As
expect
you
to
hit
win by
her
throwing a chain chomp at it.
with the chain chomp, she takes the blow, hisses in pain from the poisoned attack, then smiles, throws out her arms, lowers her lance and says, "I submit. The test has been proven." And she offers out the blessed Oliphant to you. The horn is yours.
Art will very meek, we'll take it, bow politely, and then immediately be like, "All right, Flavian, how are you handling? You look rough, bud."
Well, this isn't the nicest place to camp, but wouldn't be a bad idea.
Yeah, let's find a nice empty place to set up our tent.
The Valkyrie smiles and begins to fly into the sky.
Oh.
And as she does, the clouds part and rays of the sun fall upon you, and you see glowing golden runes form on the ground. This place will offer you succor and warmth for the night, and you shall rise restored the next morning.
Thank you.
Art, blessed Einharjar, you must go to the tomb of hallowed dead. When you find the king of the dragon and the wolf, blow the Oliphant to raise the army. The world calls upon you on Frankane's darkest hour.
That it does. Will do.
I know. I have seen the virtue of your heart. Farewell, and she flies off into the heavens.
Well, that was interesting.
As the heavens close, Art goes, "Yeah, I still don't know what her name is. Did she give her name?"
No. Duck looked kind of disappointed. She flew off before. Duck has the hallowed vial in her hand. She's like, "Someday I'll figure out where to put this." Puts it away.
Oh, you heard her say it. The horn needs to be polished with the mead of Niflheim.
Yeah.
Niflheim is Hela's domain. And
Yeah.
this is an amber liquid.
Oh,
It's a
yeah.
mead.
Then Duck
There
will be
you
like,
go.
"Hey, Art, look, I think this is one part of it."
Ah, fantastic. That makes. I was sitting there I was sitting there the whole time afterwards, like, where the hell are we gonna find a portal to Niflheim? You've had it the whole
Well,
time.
we still have to know it's empty. Like Duck uncorks it and tips it over. I've been looking for a way to fill it up.
Oh, we have to go find another temple to Hela, probably.
Which I believe you said, TT, Hela's temples are typically underground by sources of underground water, which
Yeah.
is why we found the first one in a Goblin Town.
Yep.
Who wants this? Duck will hold out the Valkyrie lance that is taller than she is.
It consistently glows with a warm light as you hold it.
I can technically Duck cannot use martial weapons, so she's offering it to
Mighty
whoever.
weapon.
I think that,
Looks to Art and is like, "You're skilled with the spear, are you not?"
and this was taken during your test.
I mean, yeah. like Art will tentatively like reach out a hand to touch it to make sure it's not a burn-on contact.
It's not.
Yeah, and it's like, oh, okay, thank goodness. I was wondering where it was gonna be. What I was, oh, I'm gonna touch it, and it's gonna set my hand on fire.
If it would be useful for you, I will allow you, when wielding it, to be immune to light damage rather than dark.
That will do it. Take it. Take
That
it.
covers your
We saw how
major
bad-
weakness.
Do it.
Yeah, we saw how bad light hurt you.
Yes.
A
This
righteous
is your
weapon.
I'm on a mission from gods, the lance.
Yeah, so in one hand you have a lance, in the other hand you have the horn.
By golly, my wife's never gonna believe this.
A righteous weapon for a righteous
Now you're
warrior
Anglo-Saxon,
on a
not German,
righteous cause.
Oh, the Anglo-Sax gets a little bit of mix of here, a little bit of mix of there. So I haven't told you about how I died, mostly because it's 3 hours of me holding my guts bleeding to death, and it's not a fun story. There was another
gut
feller.
wounds definitely suck.
Oh, gut wounds are horrible. If you're... I'll mean this as kindly as I can, friends. If I find you dying of a gut wound on a battlefield and I can't heal you, I'll make sure you don't die of a gut wound.
It's about the kindest
Yeah.
thing that you could say to me, actually.
Yeah, I think Duck and Grugan have probably both been stabbed in the gut before.
Yeah, I would agree. They just, weren't in a fucking horrifying situation, as horrifying a situation as Arthur was.
The funny part would be if Duck, it wasn't when she was in the military, but just one back alley of Lutesi or something.
Yeah, it was absolutely during some heist shit for you.
Yes. Kindness I can offer in that situation. I'll make sure it's a swift death, not a long, staggering, painful death. But when I died, right there, he says, pointing to the specific spot where it was, like, if you want me to sit in it, I can sit in it and show you. But that would be weird, and I'm not sure I'm ready to process that. There was 2 people. I vaguely remembered a glowing white one, and a big shadowy, shrouded fella. I'm assuming that our Valkyrie friend, for lack of a better word, was the glowing one, which makes me really wonder who the fella in the black shrouded cloak was.
Does that just sound like, the standard Death Reaper?
Yeah, in both Bretons and Francain, the most common form of Psychopomp is the Grim Reaper, or the Grim Reapers, plural. A skeleton in dark robes, sometimes with raven wings, sometimes without, often brandishing either a sword or a scythe, that goes to harvest the souls of the dead and carry them on to the afterlife. Granted, Arthur didn't see a skeleton beneath the robes, and there was no scythe present, but it's not a hard guess if there was a Valkyrie present that another Psychopomp was there as
No
well.
Minotaur horns sticking out from the hood?
Not this time.
We're a little early for that, aren't we? No, we're a little late for that. No, that's right.
Well, I mean, if Charles
Brain.
becomes a Psychopomp, there's never late
I mean,
for that.
you are from Anglesex.
I am from one of the towns. It's like, so I didn't see a skeleton.
I think you were from the town that was Charles' first big adventure spot.
You are
Yeah.
correct.
Sorry, I'm not trying to make this about Charles.
No, you're good. Let's see. So I got that taken care of. Got a nice shiny lens. Yeah, I guess let's take a rest here, lads and lasses.
Yep.
Mostly lads.
You may have a full interlude scene, and by the grace of the Valkyrie, everything will be restored to you after this rest and when you head out on the road next time.
Ugh.
I will take it.
Yeah, so will I.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Beast.
Oh yeah. So nice. Don't forget your stats go back to normal after that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Interlude. I'm gonna add is it? Yeah, admiration for Sarid.
Uh,
I think I'm
he's
gonna
getting. Oh,
do
go
the
ahead.
same. I think I'm gonna do the same. Admiration. I still mistrust you, but I admire you.
Yeah, that's kind of the same for Deck.
Oh, kitty.
Congratulations, Sir Reed. You've gained loyalty. I am now ride or die with you.
And he has likewise gained an admiration for Arthur. It's a difficult thing to come back to the place in which you were slain for unjust reasons and face a literal arbiter of fate and then be given a holy mission. That takes guts,
Mm-hmm.
You don't even have any
which
anymore.
neither he nor Arthur have.
You got some left.
Mr. Reed, you're forming them.
Yes, just big old roots.
You do, in fact, have a digestive tract.
Interesting.
It's just not as complex as normal animals would be yet.
Yeah. Oh god, trying to deal a gut wound to him, it would be more of an inconvenience. It's like, oh man, I worked really hard on that one.
Oh, you sprung a leak. Get out of there.
You know how hard it took me to mold the digestive system? Ugh.
Like, essentially, your digestive tract is sort of like a compost pot.
Now, speaking of which, did that holy light of the Valkyrie invigorate any of the plant life?
Unfortunately, no. Blessed as the Valkyrie is, it is not her mission to restore life to the Field of Desolese. It is her mission to prevent another Field of Desolese from being made.
And what was that about her armor, that it was cracked off?
It was broken. You're not able to get it with a loot action.
Ah!
But what about some fragments?
Nope.
It must have disintegrated into...
No feathers from the wings?
No, damage was dealt to the Valkyrie, but she left nothing behind despite parts of her, despite breakages of her armor, feathers getting ruffled. It's almost like her body is not actually corporeal.
Right.
But rather made of some other substance. Something that isn't matter.
Shady, does Monshare have an accessory equipped? Curious.
Just Crimson Gloves.
What's that do?
Gain +2 bonus to accuracy / attack checks.
Oh, okay.
It's a pretty good one.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Had the idea of making something, but you kind of have what I would make anyway, so.
I think Duck's accessory is the first thing she soul stole from Rawhead, the Helm of Vigilance.
Mm-hmm.
Which is +2 to defense and initiative.
Check.
Reed will point out, if you don't mind, I'm gonna take a walk around. I won't go far, it's just... I think I need to observe all this.
You need company?
No. It's just...
No.
They made the
Maybe not
Goblin
company,
War
but you might
sound
need a
so
buddy.
glorious. I see nothing honorable here. Follow me if you wish, if you want to look out for me, I guess. But I made tough stuff.
Reed, what are you thinking as you survey the field of Desolese and this ghost town inside of it?
Yeah, I think Duck will just kind of just stick close to make sure nothing gets a jump on them.
Mm-hmm. Well, he had passed through the fields not too long ago, but it was an aimless wandering. He frequently got turned around. It was very confusing time. But here, taking a more measured pace and then seeing with his own eyes the proper cost of war, he's feeling a bit foolish for his previous naivete. Remarking just like, this should be a place of life. There should be people running around and whatnot, and these homes should be filled, but everything's quiet and empty.
As you go through this town, you realize this is the sort of place that wars should be fought to protect.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. They made it sound so gallant. But there's no honor here anymore.
No, don't you know? Honor is for officers and the people who send soldiers to die. Not to be grim.
This is a grim place.
This isn't the this isn't the first battlefield I've seen, but it is one of the worst. I've made battlefields bad before, but this is something else.
Grim truths for a grim place.
So, mind if I
Think
ask?
that people want this again? Hmm?
Well,
Speak your mind, Doc.
it's been decades since the last one. People forget, or they weren't here when it happened. You know, the people that were here are dead, or gestures of the vague direction of the camp where Art would be. So, you know, or it's the people who live long enough with enough power, like Garston Jr., who just doesn't care.
Is that all it means to be a knight? Is just to be a big bully?
You know, that's not something I can answer you. Or for you. I'm very far away from what you would call a knight or even chivalrous, but you know, it's
You still have a sort of conduct, though.
everyone's got to have a code, either that's they learn from someone or they make it up themselves, and you know.
This can't be allowed to happen again.
I mean, you're traveling with the group that's trying to stop it. I mean, Art came back from the dead, the first of the Einherjar.
I don't
That's,
know what it is, but clearly it's something important.
Doc wouldn't have a really clear idea on that. Just know that she's heard enough to be like, oh, that's big news. I don't know the full brunt of that, but
If it came out of the word of a mystical god woman, I'm sure it's important.
yeah, exactly.
Tell me, Doc.
hmm
What were you before this?
I just realized Duck and her Reed. Like, I've been many things through my life. Do you mean before or after I was exiled from Fairyland?
For what crime were you exiled?
Failure. Surviving when everyone else died.
That hardly seems like a crime befitting such stark punishment.
I tarnished my lord's honor.
How so?
I don't want to. So I was tasked with some. I used to be something of a soldier or a spy, not glamorous, but for one of those in the Unseelie courts. Me and my friends, our squad, were sent to shame and embarrass a rival, sneak into their homes, steal something of value, show that they were weak and careless. Except apparently that they weren't as weak as careless as our Lord wished. So I was the only survivor, and for my cowardice in surviving, I was cursed by the person we were sent to embarrass. And when I staggered back home, that brought shame to my lord for my failure, so I was sent here because,
It seems that man and goblin are much more alike than I thought. It seems even in Fairyland, there are lords unworthy of service.
Oh, yes. I mean, from what I've seen, that's most of them, but I have run into a couple that seem to be okay. They actually do care about those beneath them. That it's a complicated subject, and it's something we've all kind of been trying to figure out as we've been marching across Frankane.
It seems to me you are not so different than Arthur. You too served something bigger than yourself, and then that cause betrayed you.
Yeah, no, me and Art, we get along pretty good. He's the first time I told him all that, actually.
He
Actually, no, I
seems
think she would have told Grugan first.
He seems like a good soul. Soul is more or less all he has left.
Yeah. What about you? How are you dealing with all this? From what I can tell, you're, no offense, fairly young.
No offense taken.
From what we know of the first Sir Reed, she says that questioningly, much more cantankerous than you were.
He was not a kind man, no. But you're right. I was, maybe still am, a little naive. My whole existence, I existed within the court of Leonis. No one really told me that much, just I heard things and put together my own conclusions.
Huh. Been a while since I've been to Leonis. But how are you enjoying freedom? It's interesting, isn't it? After a lifetime of servitude.
I don't know if the word right now is freedom. I was wandering around the fields in search of the Grumboog's fortress because I was terribly afraid of people finding out the truth and wanting to kill me. So it wasn't exactly freedom that led me to you all, more like a fear, grim obligation, and now I see there is. I'm not sure if I can walk away from this either. So I feel like I'll only be able to really taste freedom when all of this is said and done.
Yeah. What do you think you'll try after that? Become a knight errant?
I don't know. Clearly,
if
not a lot of people are looking out for villages like this.
No, and actually, if we run into them, I think you will get along just fine with the group that we encountered in what was the word? Permafield? Is that where we've encountered the small feet heroes?
Yep.
Like, oh yes, Permafield. Before we left, there is actually a small band of heroes fighting to keep it protected after it was abandoned by its lord. If it was a duke or whatever. But and among them there is actually the first goblin knight I have ever seen. I think you would actually get along with them.
Huh. I'll keep that in mind.
And as we wrap up that nice little scene, I have a coda, but does anyone else have any business they want to do before then?
Once back, Deck will help Flavian with the project.
Nice.
She helped him out the last few times, I think. So
I think for me personally, Art would spend a slightly disturbing amount of time sitting in the spot where he died, writing in his journal to his wife.
Beautiful. That actually goes into my coda really well, if you don't mind me just going right into that. We flash back many, many years ago as Bretonch man dies in this tree with two figures standing by him. One skeletal figure dressed in black robes, and the other a beautiful woman in white, silver, and gold. The cloaked figure raises their hand, and darkness congeals into a vast scythe, which they prepare to use to separate the soul from the corpse in full, only for the woman in white to lay a hand and say, "Wait." The Reaper stops and looks at her and says, "We are a long way from Germanor. This is not a soul under your dominion." "I know, but I see the virtue in his heart, do you not? A dying wish that no others would be wasted as this life has been. That there would be no more scenes like this. Many men have dying wishes. Yes, but this one has unfinished business. If he dies here, the ones who loved him will never know the truth of his character. Please, this is a wish worth saving, a virtue that deserves to be recognized. You cannot take this one to Valhalla. He is not a follower of the Aesir. Yes, but he has died in Francain as a Bretonch soldier. True. But the Frankish need not know that. Allow me to just reposition this body so that he may be entombed amongst the hallowed dead. This is beyond the bounds of my duty. Yes, but are we not tasked by the divine with upholding what is right? The rules are not set in stone. They are guidelines for what is just. And with just a slight nudge, she looks at Arthur with sympathy and compassion and admiration. I think this soul could use great things yet. And so, in a scene that's comical given the nature of these two divine beings, the Grim Reaper and the Valkyrie trade Art's place with a Frankish soldier on the battlefield. They position Art with a lance jammed in the chest of in fact the commander of Art's unit, a man who Art once laughed at when he fell face first in the muck, so that it looks like Art killed a very high-ranking soldier in the Pratanch army, and alter Art's livery just enough so it can no longer be recognized, stain it so foul with putrescence, and tear it so severely that one cannot make out whether it was a Pratanch uniform or a Frankish one, so that when, weeks later, Frankish people come to recover the dead, Art is mistaken for one of their own and interned in the tomb of the hallowed dead. And that, in many ways, is how we got here. See you next time on Currents of War.